Hey everybody, welcome back. Or if you're new to my channel, welcome aboard. I am so happy to have you here and to be able to share this stuff with you.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Now, I've been talking to a lot of you recently. There seems to be a little bit of confusion about different acting styles. First and foremost, before you do anything, you have to narrow down what type of acting you want to do. Theater, improv, stand-up, all of these things are different mediums. They all stem from the same thing, and that is to tell a great story and to make an impact on an audience. But unfortunately, a lot of actors are taught how to forget everything and the lines don't matter and don't worry about the structure, just be yourself, before they've learned how to execute this correctly. And that would be the same as signing your kid up for baseball and them not learning the fundamentals of what baseball is. You have to learn the fundamentals like the back of your hand before you can start putting your personality on things and you can start feeling comfortable about this stuff. Yes, the lines do matter. The structure matters. Everything matters. As an editor, if I said, oh, the fundamentals of editing don't matter, the structure of story doesn't matter, I'm gonna throw it all out the window. Nobody would like that, and movies that do have that don't do very well because we've all decided on a very specific structure of how movies are made and how audiences understand storytelling, and we follow that structure because it works. Why? Because it works. Today, we're going to talk about film acting. But first, the queen bee of everything. The camera was invented to show real life. It was to show reality as we see it and as we feel it. We want to give the audience the opportunity to be a fly on the wall and to observe real life. And as actors on camera in a movie, you have to be able to represent reality in the most truthful circumstances that you can. Film acting isn't a big wow moment in the room all of the time. The big wow moment happens in the edit. It happens when all of those pieces come together and make a story. Whereas on stage or in a live entertainment sort of a venue, you want to influence an audience in the moment and you feed off of the audience, and that comes with its own set of habits that don't necessarily look good on camera. And I'm gonna tell you what they are so you can get rid of them because you don't need them. You're not gonna get any feedback for years sometimes because there's a whole process that happens once they say cut. Once you get in your car and you drive home, there is a whole team of people that take your performance and they turn it into something. It's a very, very long time before anybody's gonna see it. And if you're trying to get that instant gratification in the room with the crew at that moment, the camera's gonna call you out on it. If you wanna make movies, you have to adjust it. And it's not always as easy as bringing it down. There's things that you can do that's my dog, sorry.
Please don't talk about me when I'm gone, oh honey.
When you're on stage, you have to make sure that the people in the cheap seats who are so far away from you are able to see what you're doing. So you're gonna wanna project, you're gonna wanna make faces, you're gonna want to exaggerate your movements so that people far away from you can understand what's going on. If you do that on camera, it will look so bad. It's not something that a mainstream audience is going to be able to lock onto and to be able to follow your character on a journey with. It's going to be something that's going to make them think that they're watching a movie, because you want audiences to lose themselves in a story. You want them to be on the journey with you. And if they're thinking about an actor doing something, then they're not thinking about the right thing. With the invention of the camera, we also have the discovery of the close-up. And for the first time, we're able to see the eyes of a character clearly, and we're able to see into the soul. You don't need to push anything on her. You don't need to exaggerate anything. You just need to have a thought and an intention. The camera, she is a mind reader, and she can magnify whatever thoughts are behind your eyes and make them so big, and she can translate them to a worldwide audience.
Ha! Oh, ladies. All right, relax, everybody.
One of the easiest ways to look good on camera is to be still and precise with your movements. Moving all around on camera is just going to make the focus puller want to murder you. Every time you move in, every time you move back, that's a different point of focus. You want to make sure that every movement you do has a communication and an intention behind it. You want to be specific so that what you do has the maximum effect on the audience and you have a very, very clear communication to them. And what really, really looks good on camera is precision and a plan. Otherwise, it's all just going to look like noise. It's going to look like, Planning out your blocking is extremely important, and executing it in the exact same place every single time is so important. The only thing that you can change every take is your tactics. Your tactics can change as much as you want, but your blocking, the props that you use, where you use your prop, when you take a drink of your water, when you sit down, those things must always stay the same because that's what we use to tell the story. Those are the things that are constant. If you change them, then I have to do a lot of work to camouflage why you're not doing things the way that they are written in the script. That's why we have script supervisors. And when you are on a big set, you will be confronted by a script supervisor who is telling you, no, you didn't take a drink from your water at that point. You have to do it on this line. Or you didn't put your hair behind your ear at that moment. You have to do it here. If you plan to do your blocking at a certain point, do it the exact same way every single time. If your intention is to seduce when you sit down for one take, then maybe it can be to charm in another take. There's a whole list of things that you can do, but your blocking must always be the same. So please make sure that you do that because it is how I help tell the story. It is how I edit. So please understand that you're a part of a big, big picture here, and we're all working together to do what is best for the movie.
In the sky above.
The more you rehearse your scene, the better it will be, the more free you will be. You have to be able to take yourself out of that moment and put yourself back into it and be able to do that over and over and over and over again until you're sick of it, until you hate it, and then nirvana. Rehearsal is the most important thing. You want to rehearse so that you know your part, the other character's part. You want to be able to know that like the back of your hand because that allows you to add other things to your performance so that you're not thinking, what's my next line, or where am I supposed to go, or when do I sit down? It's just something that you'll know so well, and then you can start having fun with your tactics and start building your emotions and start going places and start layering. That's what you want to do. That's the fun stuff. That's exciting. And for me as an editor, that's what I want to see. You also want to remember that your partner is the most important person in the room. So many actors are trying to entertain the people behind the camera. They want to entertain the room, which is a noble desire to want to entertain and be social about your acting. But for the camera, you have to remember that the audience is not going to see your performance for weeks, months, sometimes years. And the only person in that room who is more important than anybody is the person that you're talking to. You need to be able to ground yourself in reality and really connect with your scene partner and remember that it's just you two in the situation, in the imagined circumstances. So this week's homework is I want you to find an Oscar-winning movie and I want you to watch it without any sound. I want you to put on mute. I want you just to watch the actors. I want you to observe the acting in it. I want you to realize that for 99.9999999% of the time, actors just have a blank face. There's no faces, there's no eyebrows, there's no exaggerated features, there's nothing. It is just somebody thinking a thought, and those thoughts behind their eyeballs are like laser beams, and the camera is picking up every single thing. Because sometimes you get so caught up in the acting aspect of it that you don't realize what the glass sees. and what the glass sees is everything. So I'm inviting you to join us on this journey where we tell stories with lots and lots of pictures. And every single one of those pictures needs to be truthful and grounded in reality so that we can communicate to an audience and make an impact. That is film acting. Being able to look into someone's eyes and read their thoughts without having it pushed on them is something that is so, it's beautiful. I can't talk anymore. I'm gonna talk forever if I let myself, so I have to stop it. I gotta pull the cord. I gotta stop it. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, please consider subscribing. Please subscribe, please like, please share, hit that bell, give it a good old slap.
You see, this is my life. It always will be. There's nothing else. Just us. And the cameras. And those wonderful people out there in the dark.